Good morning, everyone. How are you today? I hope you had a great long weekend. Here's a look at our S&P futures, and of course, those did trade yesterday. We can see we kind of put in this nice little hook right here, and making the little gains up, kind of testing some of these trend lines here in the S&P futures. I'm going to keep an eye on this, see if we can kind of continue this. Maybe this is our little bit of a base here. We're also getting some help from Bitcoin, looking like maybe it found a little bit of a base in here. It did see some lows. It actually traded down in the 18,000 area, or like 18.5, 18.8 area over the weekend, and now coming back up above that $19,000 mark. We have the NASDAQ as well, making a nice little hook. Now watch for this though, right? Because we've seen this little, like these little bear flags kind of pan out. And we want to make sure we get follow through. So still leaning more on the day trade side until we see that. This week we also have a lot of Fed speak. So Jerome Powell, I think, speaks 3 times. Check the calendar. It's posted there. It's pinned at the top of the page of the screen share chat. But check that calendar and watch for any Fed speak. And then, depending on what they say, the reaction from it, we get a lot of that. So anyway, so that's what this looks like here. I want to point out here on the SPY, I have all these gaps marked in. Let me make this just a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. All of these like light purple lines. So we have a gap here, we have a gap here, we have a little gap here that we're playing in the pre-market here. So we'll see if this fills, but we also have this gap down here, down below. So lots of gaps to worry about in the SPY. If they're below us, obviously that's support areas. Up ahead, they're resistance areas. So keep an eye on all of that. Lots, really a lot to watch here. And again, all of that's Fed speak. So another thing to watch is energy. So a lot of battling about energy. Can anything be done about it? Oh my gosh, don't even get me started. But here we are, we're seeing crude push back up. Now last week I said that I was still bullish on oil and energy, and we saw this big drawdown. Totally fine, came back here to the 50, and now pushing back up. We're putting in a little bit of a lower side inside candle here. But we've seen these drawdowns before just continuing to head up. And a way to kind of look at it is pull it out to a weekly chart. Weekly charts just smooth things out a bit. So we were kind of just cruising along with energy, pretty orderly. But then, of course, we had Russia invade Ukraine, and that's what caused this volatility. And continuing it here. Today's the first day of summer, so we're really seeing a lot of travel, and whether it's airline travel or people driving, they're getting their summer on, and that it's hard. Gas prices have come down just a little bit, but for the most part, they're still ridiculously high. But people are tired of waiting. It's been a few years before, a lot of places still hadn't been open. This is the first year where, we can really get back out and get those vacations. So that's what people are doing, even if they have to make it maybe a shorter trip or whatever. But the demand is still there. We haven't changed the demand in oil. And keeping it expensive probably will not really change that. So anyway, on the weekly here, and this is the light sweet, it is bouncing the 20. If we look at Brent crude, right, not quite bouncing the 20, but we are bringing the 3 back to the 8. So very similar looks here, and I am still bullish on energy for right now. So I will look, for some energy plays, but again, kind of sticking more to the day trade side of things. Okay, so we've looked at the SPY, we've looked at the NASDAQ and oil. Let's hop into just a quick chart. I only have a couple of setups for swing trades that I like. And while I'm on the weekly, this is FedEx. Look at that bullish engulfing on FedEx here from last week. We tapped the 20 before pulling back off. They had news. So this was on Activist News. They added 3 seats. And the reason is, they feel like their business, they do as much business or comparable business as UPS, but their market share is a lot less. And so they really want to capitalize on that. And the way that the board or the investors saw to do it was to add some board seats, bit of activism there. And here we go. tapped the 200, so it was the 50 on the weekly, 200 on the daily, and we want to watch for a push back up over that 200. I'm looking, I know these are a little bit shorter, but the July 15th 230 call, now they did add some new strikes today, so I'll watch those as well. But I like this at an entry about 231.50, and I would stop at 238, or even tighter, you could keep it right at, if we close below the 200 and can't hold above it. But again, it's consolidating a little bit here, moving above the 200. My targets are 236.20 and 239.20 on FedEx. And tech taking a little bit of a bounce, and I picked Zoom here. This has just been, kind of quietly picking up some bars. We've picked up a little bit of volume on and off as we sat around this point of control area. We're above the 20 and the 50. Really nice squeeze of moving averages, well below the 200, but nice squeeze of these moving averages in that. So I kind of like Zoom here for a nice potential of moving on. And I think if you squint your eyes, I know, sounds kind of crazy, you might be able to see a bit of an inverse head and shoulders, a little wonky playing out here. So Zoom, I like the 715, 110 call. I like that at 112. Now again, they've added some strikes to this, so play around with that that strike. As we see they're moving. But I want to entry right around 112, and I'm going to stop at 108. And my targets will be 114.75. Now, some other names seeing some excitement today are the electric vehicles. Now, these saw some nice movements last week. They ended the week nicely. So keep an eye on that. Really like this NEO above that trend line. I wasn't able to really do anything last week with the kids being so sick, but everybody's back to normal-ish now. So we have NEO moving along here. XPEV, LI. So these are some. You can even watch Tesla. There was some Twitter news out this morning. So Twitter itself actually is moving a little bit. Gave back quite a bit so far, but overall, Twitter, Tesla, and these two in particular, obviously based on anything Musk. So the Musk momentum. So watch those two. The other areas I like. Airlines, travel airlines like these, they got particularly beat up here recently, but put in some nice reversals. United in particular, I like this engulfing candle there. There is that deal that's attempting to be struck between JetBlue and Spirit Airlines. So JetBlue and Save. A lot of engulfing candles here. Delta not engulfing, but again, nice reversals here in the airline area, in the airline space. So keep an eye on those. A lot of tech moving on this morning. We had highs of over 500 when I first got up. We're sitting over 500 in the Dow right now. A lot of these tech names looking to make a little bit of a move here today. Again, I would really stress sticking to day trades on these until they prove to us that they aren't setting up bear flags. And again, that may be all that this is a bear rally, a bear market rally, but we won't know that until it's over. So, okay, that is it for me here this morning. I hope you have a great day. I will be around all day, so be sure to drop in. We'll watch those markets and watch for Jerome Powell speaking. He is speaking today. Nope, sorry, he doesn't speak today. We do have a couple Fed speakers today, but tomorrow morning at 9:30, so right when the market opens, Powell is going to speak, and then on Thursday at 10. So all kinds of exciting stuff. All right, be sure to watch for that. I will talk to you soon. If you have any questions, please reach out. Heather C. at GivingTreeTrading.com.